Hi everyone, good morning. Okay, I just want to clarify everyone can see me, everyone can hear me, right? Guys, do like the stream before we get started. The more you like the stream, the more like minded people are able to find us. And well, hi, how is everyone doing? I know this is the result of the stream, is the result of a lot of people who were really missing mornings. And I'm glad they reached out to me. And So I thought it will be a nice time to catch up with everybody. I know it was short notice. A lot of you are coming from the Chalchitra Book Club and my Instagram or the homepage of YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, this is lovely. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great weekend. Uh, I am having a nice weekend as well. A lot of things have been different. There are so many updates I should give you. I've pinned down a comment in the section, which was by me only. And I wanted all of you to recommend me a poem. I think I'll do this on across social media also today, where I just remember there was this one Q&A where I asked everybody to recommend me a poem because I'd run out of ideas and I really wanted to discover more stuff. And surprisingly, the entries were so interesting that I actually found a lot of my favorites, poets and poems, from that Q&A. So that's really nice. I'll come to the recommendations in some time. Okay, but wait, I'll take that up before I get into other things. Akanksha is here. Akanksha is recommended I Worried by Mary Oliver. Amazing choice. It reminds me, I have this book right now. It's the new unselected poems of Mary Oliver that I've been reading. Oh, and okay, trying to find a few things here. And yeah, so share your favorite poems with me in the comment section. It's a nightmare. I'm not the most tech savvy person, but I felt a few. Oh, I love Emily Dickinson. This Indian Railways updates 2023. Wow, what a name! Hi Deepshikha. Hi Srishti. Good morning. Oh, Bantoshni is here. Hi, how are you? It's been a long time, guys. Ritesh, yes. Hi, Rashid. Hi, Ritesh. Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Okay, this is something I'll have to read. I've read it before, but I really did not. Okay, register it. This reminds me of a poem that I want to talk about today. It's called The Orange by Wendy Cope. And I'm pretty certain a lot of you already know about it because it's been doing a lot of rounds of the internet. In fact, I think Charu, by the way, check out her videos. Amazing, amazing content. Kritika and Charu have been doing an amazing job. And so is Pathik. And I hope you guys are, I hope all of you are watching the bookish banters with Aditi, Pathik, and Charu. What a lovely stream. But anyway, Charu spoke about this poem, The Orange, in one of her recent videos. And Orange is one of the most underrated poems, according to me. No, it might not be for everybody. It's underrated for me because I learned of this. I discovered it. No, I did not discover is the wrong word. I came across this piece of work when I was growing up, and I read it. I got the point, but I soon after I did what? uh, I kind of moved on. And I think I moved on too quick because I came across this one again when it was doing rounds of social media. And I realized it's a beautiful ode to being present in the moment. I was reading an article where Wendy Cope actually told about how I came to write The Orange. And she says it was a very usual day. I was sitting with my friends and I came across this orange, which was supposedly larger than what the usual size of the oranges are, and we laughed about it. And whatever happened is what comes in next in the poem. And I think one of the most beautiful lines of the poem is actually uh, that orange, it made me so happy as ordinary things do. And she goes on to say how this is peace and contentment. It's new. And sometimes when you're discovering being present, small things like the orange mean so much. And I love the end. It's just the poem is so simply worded, but the end says, I love you, and I am glad that I exist. Uh, this is a beautiful poem about self acceptance, self love, and just being present, about being glad that you're here, that you exist in this moment. So, this is something that I really wanted to share with all of you. And why don't you recommend me your favorite poems, and maybe we can analyze them? Not analyze them. That's a very we can talk about them in the next few streams. Is it okay to not finishing a book if I do not like in them? You have no idea how many books I've left. Kafka. I like how the names of every account are getting interesting by the day. Yeah, it's absolutely okay. There are so many. Uh, I shouldn't, but were quite a few ABAMs. Not a lot, a few, just a few, that I picked up because I wanted everybody to read them. And then I was the one who did not end up finishing them because it just didn't work right for me. There are so many books in the whole wide world, there's so much content to consume. It's okay to let things go. Okay. There are so many comments, but yeah. Guys, do like the stream. The more you like the stream, the more it gets recommended to like minded people, and that's how we grow, right? Um, just okay. Ahmed is here. Hi, Ahmed. Hi, Vaani. Just wanted to say I love your videos. And hey, thank you so much, Ahmed. I'm so glad. Srishti is here. Hi, Srishti. The Return by Mary Oliver. I'm so sorry. Chintalapti Pavan. Please correct me if I mispronounced your name, or you can just tell me the correct pronunciation of your name. It'll be so helpful. Poem Into the Wild. Okay. Shruti is here. Hi, Shruti. I write poems. I'd love to connect and do a session with you. Sure, Shruti, you can reach out to me on vaani@chalchatratalks.com. I am a little slow in getting back these days, but whenever there's an opportunity and the time collides or the time is right, I will definitely love to do a session with you. It is very beautiful and heartwarming to see you back with Kitabi Camps. I had never gone away, guys. I was always there in the background. Deepshika, hi Vani. She did not say hi. Sorry. I read a Tiny Beautiful Things book that you recommended. It is such a heart. Oh, that's lovely. Shuvo Jyoti, Go to the Limits of Your Longing, written by Rina Maria. Okay, yes. Hi, Sonu Panda too. Good morning to you too. Butterfly, guys. Sorry about the long name. My honest poem, Rudy Francisco. Nice. Manjeet Bhikshuk Suryakant Tripathi Nirala. Bhikshuk by Suryakant Tripathi Nirala. Nice. Amrin, The Laughing Heart by Charles Bukowski. Nice. If anybody present is in the stream, would like to make a list of these poems and then post it in the comment section later, I would be immensely grateful to you. Please do so. Vineet, The Guest House by Rumi. Nice. Shruti, a poem that's my favorite song of the wave by Khalil Gibran. I'm not sure. Hi Shyam, good morning. If by Rudyard Kipling. Oh, that's a poem I love, Abhijit. Like, eventually, I really want a big. Trying to find the correct word because the word that came to my mind was inappropriate. But I really want a huge poster of this poem in my book because I think it really sorted my school days. And now that I've grown up and I don't come across this poem every day, it's a little sad. It's my favorite poem on lovers, how they are with each other. Nice. Have I read What It Is by Eric Fred? No, I haven't. If you recommend it, I might try. Hi, Shishanshu. Good morning. How are you? And guys, do like the stream. A lot of people are here. But now, please keep on sharing your favorite poems and we'll pick them up later. And I'm really counting on one of you guys to volunteer and just do a comment about the poems we talked about in this session. Now that it's done, I really want to talk about the book for the month of April. I'll do this at least 3 times today in the stream, during the stream, because I really want everybody to pick it up. Now, a lot of people complain that I only pick up fiction, but to all of those people, I don't pick up fiction. I mostly pick um, semi autobiographical works which read like prose but have a feel of poetry to it. I do not know what the correct stereotype would be to for such themes, but it's not my intention. I swear, with my hand on my heart, I mean it when I say that this is not my intention. But somehow I eventually end up picking the books of the similar genres. But yeah, the next book won't be it. And this is the first book that we are reading this year, which feels like this. It's called Department of Speculation by Jenny Offel. We are going to discuss it, I think, in the last week of April uh, in the book club. And the beautiful thing about this book is that I love the writing. It's very similar to how I write. I like to write my stuff, which I don't publish. It's for myself and my imaginary poetry slam contests. But having said that, this is a beautiful, beautiful book so far. I haven't finished reading it. I'm still halfway through. But I want to read this. I want to read the line which made me pick this up, and the line which made me certain that I won't regret picking it up in the month of April, considering it's my birthday month. I'll be turning 47 soon. But this is the line. It says, "My plan was to never get married. I was going to be an art monster instead." Women almost never become art monsters. Women almost never become art monsters because art monsters only concern themselves with art, never mundane things. Nabokov did not even fold his own umbrella. Vera licked his stamps for him. And I like this thing because um, a lot of people have been talking to me about marriage lately. And it's just my circle of friends, a lot of them have started getting married. And I am one of those people who, for some reason, have not found comfort in the idea of the school of marriage. I'm still discovering my way around it. But having said that, there's this feeling about being your own individual, being your own person, which this line sums up completely, where and it's mostly the women that feel a certain way. I am not certain why. Maybe it's the society, or maybe it's how we've grown up listening to a certain few things that make us so rigid about the idea of marriage, because we think maybe it's the wave of feminism, maybe it's literature like Sylvia Plath's diaries, or Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own, and so on and so forth, that make you feel like, oh, I want to be an art monster. I want to be at the top of what I want to do, but for some reason, I feel getting married would limit it, which I believe is an absolutely wrong idea. There are so many beautiful people doing so well after getting married, but this is just, please bear with me. But it's just, I like it how Nabokov did not even fold his own umbrella. Vera licked his stamps for him. But I love this. And so far, the book is just a woman analyzing how things took a turn. And she eventually got married and had a child. And now she's finding balance again. What I really like about the book is also how she quotes other people. Like, for all of us who read, and I'm going to come to the comments right now after I'm done with this thought. Do like the stream, guys, by the way. But I really like how she quotes people. So a lot of times it happens to us, especially the people who read a lot. We have this certain thought, but we never put it down on paper. And then one day we come across this book where the thought already exists in the shape, in the format that we wanted to put it out. And that has happened to our author Jenny Offel as well. And I just love the way she talks about these things. So, for example, she loved this quote, which says, "If you have not known suffering, love me." Such a oh, nice, nice thing to say. But she says, soon after, "A Russian murderer beat me to that." Meaning, a Russian murderer quoted it before she could. And she has similar. I will have to find it now because I did not highlight it. But yeah, she quotes quotes like this, and it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, happy Ambedkar Jayanti to everyone. Indian Railways just reminded us. Hi Vaibhav, how are you? Vaibhav is in the comments. Uh, Vaibhav, by the way, recently finished reading two books. He finished ABAM of last month, which was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he finished reading Buddha, I think the third in the book in the series. Uh, I know we're talking about poems, but I wanted to know what music you're up to now. What music am I? I've been listening to Chamkila a lot. I also was watching the movie, but I had to leave to some place yesterday, so I couldn't finish watching it. I've been listening to a lot of A.R. Rahman and Mohit Chauhan, and basically, I've been appreciating the lyrics. And apart from that, I've been listening to a lot of weird stuff. Basically, I'm not talking about A.R. Rahman being weird, but like apart from that, I'm listening to a lot of weird stuff. It's just not one thing. Hi, Rain. Good morning. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'll be skipping a few comments because I think I've lost a few things. I am still hoping one day this book club will pick up Shubhajyoti Rakshit. We will for sure. And in case you guys have any recommendations, please DM me or get back to me on vaani@chalchitratalks.com because graphic novels aren't my forte. So if there is anybody who can recommend it in the price range of somewhere under 800 rupees, I will be immensely grateful. We want you to read poems and let a random movie clip playing around. We basically want poem shorts. Shamsai, you could have asked for anything today, and that would have been granted. But yeah, I am working on this. But yes, Department of Speculation got me out of my reading slump. I'm amazed, Vineet. You should talk about this so that more people can pick it up. By the way, guys, I love your morning streams. The Hi, Kushi. It's been so long when you last streamed mornings, and last night I was so happy to see the schedule. Thank you. I've reached a stage where, thank you for the love, Kushi. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you like watching my streams. She's, this is a funny thing, age, and right now she called me the, and I've reached that age where I haven't actually, or so I'd like to believe. But I recently moved houses. You can see the new background and everything. And there are these kids who play outside because I live on the ground floor. And I'm afraid one of those days their ball will come here in my courtyard, which it has, but they just come politely, take the ball away and whatever. And they'll call me, Auntie, please ball dena. And I know age is just a number and you shouldn't care about this thing, but I really am worried about that one day. But yeah, in other news, I recently got a haircut, and I haven't. I'm that person who does not like change. I resist change, and I do not get anything that I hate surprises. They have more of a shock value for me. But recently, I got a haircut, and I got these fringes, which are a nightmare. Never going for this again, but it's a great change. I also got a new pair of specs. I get a lot of, it's not like I got a new pair of specs in 4 years. I got a new style of frame in 4 years. It's really nasty, if you talk about it. And the thing is, I only wear it in the house because I think it takes away from the seriousness of my face. But I feel very, what is the Gen Z word for it? Uh, I feel like I have the riz when I'm wearing these specs around the house. But yes, these are the changes I've made in the recent uh, past. Having said that, I hope one of you is making that list. If there is somebody who's making that list, please notify us in the comments. And the next thing I want to talk about is actually one of the most famous uh, children's books. It's called Where the Wild Things Are. It's by Morris Sendak. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. I have a history of butchering names. But I read this book recently again only because I'd forgotten I have a copy. And my sibling came over one day and he said, "Hey, thank you for your copy. I'm really sorry. It's been damaged a little by this end." To which I said, "It's nothing new. You ruined my Catcher in the Rye as well." But okay, I got this book and then I sat down to read it again. And when I bought this, I thought this book is overrated. And I hate how I'm being proven wrong again and again by, things that I thought were meh 2 years ago. I come across them again today and I'm realizing I was so wrong. But there's this book called Where the Wild Things Are, and I never understood the appeal of it. And it's basically, apparently, it's a book which was not meant to please everybody, just kids. And it talks about the anxiety that kids face, and nobody really talks about them. Every children's book is apparently about teaching them about an emotion, a lesson, and so on and so forth. But apparently, and I realized this upon reading this now after years, this book is about the things in childhood that we cannot escape. There is this awful vulnerability about being a child, and the need to be the best at everything, or be the protagonist, or the, what energy do we call that, the lead energy or whatever. But there's this need to be the protagonist and the king of the wild things. And that is what this book talks about. When our protagonist in this book is Max, he is ordered to go back to his room as a punishment. He goes into this fantasy world where all the wild things live, and he's the ruler of all those wild things. He can vent out his emotions about his parents being mean to him, or his parents banning him from not sitting downstairs or whatever, sending him off to bed. He calms down eventually, of course, but his fantasy takes him to this place where all the wild things live, and he is their kid. And I think that's just one beautiful way of looking at things. So that was a book recommendation I had for this month. And of course, it's inspired a lot of movies, short films, I think plays as well. But do read this book if you get a chance. Especially, I think uh, I got this from a thrift store. I just thanked God if one exists. But that's there. I just got this from a thrift bookstore and it was just lying there. And I was like, what? But you guys can also look. I read it the first time I got it, I read it on Kindle. Oh, by the way, my copy has a really nice note. I got this in 2022. And it says, it has a really nice note, which I believe is from a kid to another kid. It's by Ronnie, I could be wrong, Ron Kennedy. And it's this. It says, Dear Adam, I hope you enjoy this story. It is one of my favorites about a temper tantrum and a timeout. Lots of love, Ronnie Kennedy or Ron Kennedy. I'm not sure what it says. Do you see this? But that's that. So I would recommend you. And I read it the first time I read it on Kindle, black and white. Absolutely disgusting. If you were to learn from my experience, read it, but get a colored copy. Read it on the Kindle, but for your laptop so that you can see the colored images and everything. Because I think that's one of the reasons why I underestimated this book. Anyway, welcome to the late 20s, Vani. I turned 25 and people have let me order food for saying, Uncle, aap order kar lijiye pehle. Uh, This is not nice. I'm not 25. I'm not way past, but I'm past 25 now. But I haven't had that experience so far and I'm dreading the day I'll have the experience. Oh, God. Please make a video, Khushi, ranking the ball pens as I've loved the pencil and gel pens one. Also, talking about age, I've just entered my early 20s and I'm in the last sem of my graduation. You're living the life, खुशी. और ऐसे लग रहा बहुत जल्दी बड़े हो रहे हैं, but like it doesn't feel it's going to be 3 years when I pass out of the school, and it feels like कि कल ही तो school में थे. I'm glad I'm out of college though. It's like that's one thing I'm glad about. I don't know if any of my college mates or my friends are watching this, but yeah, that's that. Then, coming to where the wild things are, I saw a very interesting movie recently. It's called Poor Things. A lot of you have heard of it already. And when I was reading the reviews, I genuinely liked the movie. I mean, of course, there are a few things which I don't really have a problem with, but okay. But, well, if you guys have seen it, you'd know what I'm talking about. But when I started reading about the movie, there were a lot of negative reviews about how this is feminism from the male gaze and how you've reduced the female liberation to sexual fantasy and so on and so forth. And I don't know how to put it, but I've ordered the what would you call it? I've ordered the book as well because apparently it's inspired by a book. Um, and I was honestly amazed by. I was. I felt at home with a movie after a really long time, and I don't say this. I mean, I don't want people to. I don't want to be, and I feel afraid when I talk about this movie because I do not want to uh, be understood, misunderstood. And I think I feel when people say and they judge Emma Stone for doing this movie, or they judge the uh, content of this movie, which is uh, R-rated, of course, but it's a little disturbing to a lot of people who don't understand the free will that women need, and they're constantly criticizing the movie, saying, "Oh, it has got a lot of nudity. It there were scenes that were not required, etc., etc." I think that sums up the whole point of the movie, where um, women are celebrated when they are naive and when they, but the moment they take charge of their sexuality, of their bodies, or their course in life, people and the society really start judging them. And I really liked the movie because I loved how the character of Emma Watson, Bella, she's discovering herself. She's finding herself. She's an obedient person, but soon she realizes there's so much that she doesn't know. And then to come across men who are trying to imprison her, it's not really it's not really far off from reality. And it's just not, I think, about, okay, fine, we have a female character, and in a sea of men who just want to take advantage of her and her naivety. It's also, I think, a lot of people who just feel imprisoned by the society or the rules and regulations we've grown up with, of the expectations that people have from us. They will relate to this a lot. uh, there was this Reddit comment that I was reading, and it said, no one really wants a sexy, slutty mom. Everyone wants to be around young women who are young, good looking, and everything. But once you get older, people start discarding you. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it's still somewhat there. There were a few thoughts that um, I like how at the end, I won't talk about it a lot, but I like how at the end the character of Bella Baxter goes to the god. If I'm not giving a lot of spoilers, by the way, and she says, "I'm finding being alive very fascinating," and I'm paraphrasing it very badly. She says, I'm finding being alive fascinating, so I will forgive you the act. I'll forgive whatever you've done so far, but having said that, I've always hated the lies and trapping that followed. And I just think this book beautifully sums up all our relationships with people, and especially when I crave to be a black and white person because I'm very bad at reading between the lines, or so I think. I just think it's a lot of extra pressure, a lot of there are so many things in my head that I do not want to have another um, work where I have to. It's anyway difficult to work with people and to understand them in the first place, and then to have another layer that you have to go through. After some time, it just becomes tiring. And so I have a habit of taking whatever the other person says 8 out of 10 times on face value. And I like how she feels imprisoned by the false set of expectations that are presented to her. And I just think it's one of the most beautiful characters. I mean, there were so many comments about people saying, people, there was a thread about how, Bella Baxter, there was this whole, I don't want to go into spoilers, I'm fumbling a lot, but there was this whole thread about, for all of you who are not watching, I'm not really giving a lot of spoilers. So you can watch the movie, and I would recommend everybody watches the movie. The movie will make you feel uncomfortable, or maybe you'll be comforted. I was comforted. If you feel uncomfortable, there's something that you need to think through. There is something that needs to change. If you feel comforted by the movie, I think you're on the right track anyway. I'm not the best judge of that, but um, I'm talking about poor things because I just read a comment. I was talking about Department of Speculation. I forgot to change the banner, but having said that, the movie is beautiful. I love the character of Bella Baxter, and I've ordered the book. I'm dying to read it, and I just think it's a really really nice movie, and everyone should sit down and watch it. There will be things that might make you feel uncomfortable. There might be things that you don't understand, and you might feel there is a little too much of certain things. I'm saying this after reading n number of Reddit comments, and there was this very stupid thread about, not stupid, but there were people who were arguing that the whole point of the movie was free will, or the freedom to make your own destiny for Bella Baxter. But what about the kid? Did he not, was his life not significant? And I just felt like slapping myself in the face. You're missing the whole point of the movie. Because, but whatever, but I would still recommend all of you. I've heard that the book is better than the movie. So I'm very excited to read it, because I loved the movie. And I'm now, if the book is better than the movie, why not? But yes, I'll quickly address the comments before I move on to the next topic, which is another movie that I saw recently. Apparently, Kate Winslet won an Oscar for this performance. Again, a very controversial film, but I think this is a safe space where we can talk about anything that we discover. But while you guess the movie, I'll just quickly address the comments. Okay. Hi, Laksha. Good morning. Please like the stream for everybody who's watching. The more you like the stream, the more it gets recommended to like minded people, the more uh, people who join us, the more we grow. And that's really, really nice. The Palace of Illusion. Okay. Talking of poor things, I just want to say it is not easy to be an RCB fan. What? Okay. Nice. Oh, by the way, I went to watch Punjab Kings 11 versus Rajasthan Royals yesterday. I just went there because I got the pass, and I am not an avid IPL watcher. I supported Rajasthan Royals out of default because I was wearing a pink T-shirt unintentionally, and I'll share the story with you guys. And also, Webb was a big RR fan, and that's the team that I know a little about because of him. So it felt right to support them. And also, I don't really hate their jerseys. I hate the costumes of the cheerleaders, though, in case anybody's listening. But I was there, and it was such an interesting thing um, because I live in, it was, the match was in Punjab, of course. And I was sitting in a box where there was no RR fan except for one individual. I don't know if it was a man or a woman because I could only see the T-shirt, nothing else. And everyone else was wearing a Kings 11 jersey. And it was difficult. And at a point, I thought there was this auntie sitting 2 seats to my left. Um, and this uncle sitting just to my right, 1 seat away. They gave me really bad looks because, of course, I get excited. I believe everything's fair in love and war and games, and har jeet chali rehti hai as long as the other side loses. So I am a very vile individual. So every time there would be a boundary or somebody, and it was, I get that this was the home ground for Kings 11 Punjab, but I really felt bad for Rajasthan Royals because the commentator was just praising Kings 11 Punjab. And there was some really great shots, some really good fielding by Rajasthan Royals as well. And he just went like, oh, it's a boundary. And I just felt like, you could have been louder, man. Like, come on. Like, you don't have to just praise the Kings 11 team or whatever. And by the way, they were great, amazing bowling by the team. But yeah, towards the end, when the game got a little, I know I've lost track of what I was going to talk about, but I just have to let it out of my system. But towards the end of the game, when I think we were thinking at a point that it might be a draw, and I don't know how to pronounce the name, what, Hitmer, or whatever his name is, I'm really sorry, but he picks a boundary. I screamed at the top of my voice. And I realized it later, but the entire stadium, or at least my side of the area, was very quiet. And I'm clapping there like a maniac. And then my friends asked me to sit down because this lady next to me was literally looking at me like this. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, that was interesting. I think now that I've gone and visited a match, I've attended. I think I really want to watch international cricket now. If it happens in Punjab, Mohali, whatever, I am. Whenever it does happen, but if I ever go for the IPL, I'm definitely rooting for the team that's coming. That's not the home team. It's away. Um, because I think it's just sad to see the amount of support the home team gets, which is fair to them, fair to them. But it's just unfair to the other team, especially when they're taking some really, really nice shots. And me, who doesn't even who doesn't even enjoy cricket, watching cricket so much, it was just a little sad. Anyway, having said that, Moving on. Poor Things feels like Frankenstein, but unlike what he was made of, she feels like an experiment, but much similarity. Though it's based on different book, I feel they look at. Yeah, I think initially, Sahaj, even I felt there was Frankenstein involved. But you know what? I also saw Priscilla, and I couldn't help but wonder how similar the two films are. I know you might feel like, oh, what? But I just felt the journey of the protagonist was very similar. There are these two women who do not know what world is like. They're young, they're naive, and then they take up this journey of discovering themselves. It's somewhat similar. And having said that, I really loved Poor Things a lot more than I liked Priscilla. But I just felt the journeys were very similar of the two protagonists of finding themselves. But yeah, the cameraman was shit because he didn't see her. Deepak, good one. Uh, when are you organizing? Do you not see the background, Deepak? Like, look at this bookshelf. Like, look at it. Um, I'll turn it around a little so you can see a little more. But yeah, I am still figuring out the rest of the place, but there'll be definitely a house tour. Having said that, now we're going to move to the next book that I want to talk about. Um, I recently saw um, a movie. It's disturbing because I think it deals about the aftermath of the Second World War, and it's actually called The Reader. And just give me a hands. I just want to know if there is anybody in the comments who's seen the movie or read the book because it's also based on a book. And I really, really want to talk about this book. So it's about this. Our protagonist is a lawyer, and when he was young, when he was 16, he courted a woman who is much older than him, and much older than him, and then, out of the blue, she disappeared. He became a lawyer. He was heartbroken, could never have normal relationships with people until he is in his college and his professor takes him to see a trial of some guards who were posted in one of the camps. And in one of the Nazi camps, they were responsible for taking care of the Jews. And one of those women is the woman he loved and still does. And her character is very weird because even when they're dating, she would never read. She loved being read to, which I think is beautiful. But she loved being read to, but she would never read. And even as a guard, she would take in the Jews who knew how to read and she would ask them to read her things every night. The movie is disturbing, and I think it could be a little controversial because, in a way, because they've talked about, uh, they've tried to humanize a guard, and I think a lot of people will have a problem with that. Um, my problem in actuality with, I don't think it's anything to do with the movie, but after that, I read into things how a lot of guards were actually arrested, and there were whole committees who sat down to judge them. And I think that's just unfair. What would you do in their situation? And these are the few questions that Kate Winslet's character raises. Like, again, I'm a little baffled because I don't know how to. I'm fumbling because I don't want to give you a lot of spoilers. I think it's a great movie, personally. I would say you look at movie. I mean, I don't want to say they could have changed some things because honestly, but keep an open mind when you go on and watch it. It's funny how I'm thinking so many things and wording my words in a way that I don't get into trouble because of this. But that is a movie I really liked. It shook me. I mean, it didn't shake me a lot, but I think I was thinking about it for a really long time because it not only made me, I was not just thinking about the uh, context of the whole movie, but I was also thinking about people who probably were doing the job that Kate Winslet does in the movie, who were guards, who were just at the bottom of the chain when it came to like guards of the camps or itself. And even if you felt for the people, you couldn't have honestly done a lot of things because your families was at a flight risk as well, and so on and so forth. So this is one of my recommendations for you. Do watch it. Okay. Oh wow. I just embedded this. I had to change the banner before I started talking about the reader. So again, this is also based on a book. I want to read the book, but I'm not sure if I'm a little uncertain about reading the book. But for those of you who've read it, please let me know what do you think of the movie. And if you've read the book, please let me know what you think of the book. Should I be picking it up or not? But anyway, before I get into the highlight of the stream today, and I want to talk about something. I want to take up two articles from Ask Polly, which I read recently, and they made me feel so good about life and just life in general. I want to remind you of Department of Speculation. It is the book for the month. Do pick it up, and we're going to discuss it towards the end of the month in the book club. So if you want to join the book club, there's a sticker running on the bottom of the screen. It's here, like here. Get our membership at chalchitratalks.com/yearly memberships. And you can become a member of, if you become the godfather, you get access to all the groups that we have: everything club, sports club, food club, book club, science club, math club. No, there's no math club, sorry. Quiz club, movie, music, podcast. Did I say book club? And um, honestly, the conversations are so good. But and if you decide to become the member of the book club alone, which is the gladiator, because honestly we're the coolest people, you can you'll be able to join us for the discussions as well towards the end of the month, and whatever we post in the group on a daily basis. And so this is the book for the month. Please read it for your sanity and for my sanity, and in hopes that you pick this up after I read something from it. Maybe you'll connect with whatever I read and buy this and be inclined, and you'll pick up the book for the month. The link is in the description, by the way, in case you want to get your copy. I would just read something from the book that I really liked. From this book. The reason to have a home is to keep certain people in and everyone else out. A home has a perimeter. A home has a perimeter, but sometimes a perimeter was breached by neighbors, by Girl Scouts, by Jehovah's Witnesses. I never liked to hear the doorbell ring. None of the people I liked ever turned up that way. And I really like this book. I really like this line because in my new house, the doorbell that the landlords had was damaged. So I had to get a Bluetooth doorbell installed, which works with there's a receiver, and then there are two switches that take the inputs. One's on one gate, the other is near the door, because there are two entries. And then there is a receiver in the house, and every time one of the bells ring, it does the ding dong, whatever. And I realized, and because I spent the first few days in this house without a doorbell, I realized life is so good without a doorbell. And I just like how she says, the people I have always liked have never turned up that way, because they always call, and they are on the call with you when they are getting inside the house. And it's just nice. It's like, oh, I've reached the cab. Where do I, the cab is here. Where do I come? Or whatever. But yeah. Nobody just, that was the days of our parents and their parents. Anyway, so this is Mornings with Vaani, friendly reminder. And I am now going to talk about this. I don't know how Weber would feel because Weber shared it with me, and it's called Tolerate Unknowns. I take a print copy of, I take a print out of every article that I like. So it's called Tolerate Unknowns, and it's. I was Weber sent this article to me last week, and I read Ask Polly not religiously. Uh, I always say I am my religious tendencies and my spiritual tendencies are defined by my convenience. And that's how I read Ask Polly. It depends on my convenience. There are days when I would just be reading all of her stuff, and there are days when I would just be like, oh, I feel good about life and whatever. I'm the most mature person in the whole wide world, so I don't really need to read it right now. But whoever sent me this article called Tolerate Unknowns, it was in my to be read list, but I had been avoiding it for some time. And I read it at least 10 times that day because it just felt so good. And I will read a lot of it. So, in case you already have somebody has a link, you can share it in the comments below. And this is also one of the last things that I'm recommending today. So, yay! Um, Before that, I'm going to address Sahaj's comments. Well, Man of Cinema yesterday recommended me Amar Singh Chamkila on Nokia. I knew who that person was, but I was surprised by watching it. Okay, I want to talk about two more movies. One is a mockumentary, जिसका मुझे नाम याद नहीं आ रहा. The other is a movie on Netflix again, जिसका मुझे नाम याद नहीं आ रहा. But Netflix has only 3 movies of Diljit Dosanjh right now. One is Shurma, Surma, sorry. The other is Chamkila, and there is a third movie which is again about Chamkila. So, in case you like Chamkila, do watch that movie as well. And there's this mockumentary, जिसका मुझे नाम याद नहीं आ रहा. I'll do a little searching, and maybe I'll remember this. I'll quickly do a Google search. You have to do Chamkila mockumentary. I don't know where it is available though. It's called Patola, I think. It came out in 1988, which is. I'm not sure if this is the one. I don't know. Oh, but there is a mockumentary on Amar Singh Chamkila as well, and it's really really nice. You would like his music. I mean, yesterday was a really nice experience because we went to watch the Kings 11 play, of course, and beach mein they were playing these. I don't know what they're called, tappe, and it was really really fun. It was, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I actually am 80 deep down and I really like this stuff. But yes, that's something you can watch. Hi, Junaid. I'm sorry. Okay, am I stuck? Am I stuck for everybody or is it just me? Okay, I'm stuck, but can you still hear me? That was a very weird pose to be stuck in. Okay. But Junaid, in caps lock, in all caps, why don't you reply to your comments on Casey's YouTube shorts or Insta's? It's Insta's page. I'm sorry. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. We will we'll take action on it and we'll get back to every possible comment we can. Thank you. That's all I have to say for now. But yes, I want to talk about. Okay, before that, I move on to this. I'm going to address a few more comments. Uh, I really hope somebody is taking notes of these poems that are being recommended right now. I'll be so disappointed if one of the fellow classmates doesn't post it. We should just call ourselves underliners by now. Um, Need more pens, pencils, stationery collection, video along with books. Okay, Mandira, I've taken note. I will be there with you. These will be there with you shortly. Okay, I think I've covered most of the comments. Okay, somebody said three of us. It's a beautiful book. Indian Railways is making it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 2023 updates of Indian Railways. But I want to talk about Tolerate Unknowns. And this, I want to do a quick poll because it will take me, I recorded myself, and I think it will take me 11 minutes to read the whole thing to all of you guys. So I'll wait for, it's 9:27 right now. I will wait until 9:20. Okay, I'll wait until 9:30. And just by a show of hands, tell me if you want me to read the entire article or just an excerpt so that you can read it on your own. Um, you can say yay the whole thing or nay. Don't in the comments. So we'll know. Until then, I'm going to talk about the comments and I will be analyzing if you guys want me to just read it or not so much. Um, what is the Three of Us about? Three of Us is a beautiful film. Um, Three of Us is about a woman is who has dementia, but it's coming in waves. So it's not there yet. It's not. And she takes a journey to her hometown where she was young and where she grew up. And she spent, I think, not a significant amount of her time, childhood, but like just 2 years. And she takes a journey back because she wants to relive it before she's forgotten everything. Uh, there are three people in the poster, and I think a lot of people say it's about the three of them being three of them because one of them is her husband, the other is a friend she really was fond of when she was growing up. But I think Three of Us is actually about herself, her past self, and the future. So it's the three of us, and she has to make peace or find a balance between the three of them in order to move on without any regrets or to live without regrets or to forget everything without regrets. So it's that. And it's a beautiful film. I saw it in the theater and I think roughly not more than 20 people were watching this film, which is amazing thing about these films when they come out. But yeah. Hi Neha, good morning. Oh, Kushi just wants us to do the excerpt. It'll just take me 11 minutes, guys, and I swear I don't mind reading it all to you guys. But oh, Akanksha says yay. Okay, cool. We've got one. And I'm waiting. So guys, there are only what roughly 30 seconds left. So hey Vaani, have you read The Three Body? I started reading it, never finished it. It was one of the books that I couldn't finish it. I know it's an amazing, brilliant book. I think I'm only left with what last. Oh no, wait! I've read The Three Body Problem. I have not read the other two. It just I couldn't finish it in time for the Book of the Month discussion. Yay! Director of Three of Us has directed Patal Lok. When will you and Dishadi stream together? I will have to sit together. It's just because of the difference in time, but we'll figure out the right time and we'll stream together. I did not know you guys really like us together. Disha is going to be very happy knowing that because we love streaming together. Hi Saurabh. There are more yays, guys, and it's 9:30. So I ordered my PC from USA and it has Windows. So this article is called Tolerate Unknowns, and it starts like this, okay? When you look back at the most fruitful moments of your life, years from now, you will be surprised to discover how many of them unfolded amid a big loss or a crisis or in the face of a giant unknown. That's true because we sometimes have the most access to our passion, love, and delight in being alive at the very moments when it is the hardest to tolerate our intense feelings. Our feelings are so strong that we have a constant urge to flee, or to find some solution through our intellect, or to dismiss the sources of our despair or uncertainty as unacceptable. When we say to ourselves, "This feels bad, I need a way to fix this," that's the very moment when the most growth and promise lies at our fingertips. But in order to access it, we have to do the opposite of what we want to do. We have to resist the urge to analyze or find a solution or protect ourselves from our emotions. We have to stop and feel more instead without changing a thing. This is when the sky starts to sparkle unexpectedly and the soaring violins enter unannounced. This is when we feel how precious it is to be there. Resisting the urge to find a solution or take action is one of the hardest things to do. Personally, I my feelings change often enough that it can throw me off balance, which is true for me as well. Over the years, I've adapted to these unnerving shifts by learning to draw sweeping conclusions quickly, summarizing what changed, what it means, and what I need to do about it. Sometimes my reactions are so rapid that I do not have time to take in where I am before I start telling stories about what's happening and what action needs to be taken. I might even act before I know what I'm dealing with or how I'm feeling. Sometimes this takes the shape of resistance. I decide a feeling or a situation is bad on the spot and I start to fight back before I know what's there. Other times, this takes the shape of discomfort and shame. I'm feeling a new way, so something must be wrong. This is an association so many of us have. I'm experiencing a strong feeling, therefore, I've made a big mistake or something scary is about to happen. Our culture's narratives reinforce these impulses. We are told repeatedly that strong feelings are pathetic and bad and need to be controlled. The second, when we are presented with an opportunity to explore a new emotional landscape, we are cut off at the knees with shame, self doubt, and fear. Exploration and discovery are rendered possible. We stop feeling and start trying to fix or mute or stop our feelings instead. Because for our whole lives, we've been taught that intense emotions are the enemy. And if we swash in them, we're likely to drown. But what if we floated instead? Once you learn to float, not every time you're hit with a tidal wave of emotion, but more often than not, once you learn to float, you will start to notice how the people around you flail and swim against the tide. You notice how strong the fear of drowning can be. And I now realize it's a really long thing and you might not listen, and I leave some of it to you. So I'm going to rush to the part that I really like. This article goes on to comment about intimacy and why it can be so hard for people who over intellectualize things because they have insecure attachment. People who often feel needy and neurotic in the face of unknowns and conflicts, or distant and neurotic, or alternately, needy and distant. Because intimacy demands that we make space for intense emotions. For we allow room for unknowns while those strong feelings are in play. And refuse the culture stories about why those feelings mean that we are weak, pathetic, and bound for humiliation and despair. And for anybody who's wondering, because I am a really smart person who just forgot to change the banner again, it's Tolerate Unknowns by Ask Polly, and this is what we're trying to talk about. I really like how, because in the recent past, I've realized there are times where I feel overwhelmed. And the more I try to control it, the worse it gets. So sometimes the easiest way is to just feel that emotion right when you start to feel it. And this is something that made me emotional when I was reading this article because I did not know if I was doing the right thing. But then I read this article and I got the chance to look at it from a third person's perspective. And I thought maybe I'm not that off. I'm not that wrong. But there's this line that I want to read out to you guys. Sometimes just feeling how afraid you are is enough. If you are working hard to solve some emotional puzzle or fix someone else or get something from someone, if you are struggling to seem more robust or beautiful or important than you are, if you are debating or retreating into fantasy or constructing a world where you alone are right and everyone else, damn them, is dead wrong, these are signs that fear is ruling you. You are panicking and you do not want to lie down. You do not want to float because you don't believe that you can float. When someone says just lie on your back, relax, just let it be, float, and you think to yourself, no, I can't do that. There's so much left to do, or I've never been able to do that. I will sink and die. Sometimes hasty stories and analysis and endless emails and panicked calls to close friends can be a way of connecting and saving yourself from despair. But other times, this kind of intellectualization can be of treading water. You want to form a hypothesis, you want to prove it immediately and move on. And usually, we do this by shutting down our heart and body in an attempt to stay safe from the unknowns. Instead of trying to just rush through things, try to float on your back and say this to yourself: I'm feeling way too much right now. Basically, just tell yourself how or things that you're feeling and accept those emotions. Now, this is a really long passage, so I'm going to give you a summary of it. And in short, it just explains the acceptance that you should make when you are feeling overwhelmed. I am feeling way too much right now. I feel like I'm going to lose. I feel like I don't matter enough. I'm not enough. I feel like I never will. I feel like no one cares. I feel like nobody will ever see me for who I am. I feel like the one glimpse of love that I had was an illusion all along. I feel like no one will ever truly be on my side. I only let people down. I feel inadequate. I'm tired and I feel like the most fucked up person on the planet. And I love what follows this thing because the whole passage was about tolerating the unknown. But in this last, and there are so many things. I mean, when I was a kid, and I'm realizing this now, I don't know if you guys remember, I have this, um, I'm really fond of one of my uncles. He's my mamu. I, and I remember having this conversation with him. And I was telling him, I don't know what to do in life. And it was, I think, 4 years ago or something. I had visited him in Delhi. And I sat down with him and I said, oh, you know what, Vicky Mama, I don't know what to do in life. I just feel like it's rushing past. And there are so many things I want to do. There are so many things I'm good at, or I think I am good at. And life is running away. And I think I just want to be old and have this sorted. And he sat me down calmly and he heard my rant for the next 1 hour. And I told him everything that I was feeling, which was, of course, very important, to just let go of those things. And he sat me down and he said, you think I've got everything sorted? I'm almost 40. And you would think I know, I'm 40, okay, not almost 40, 40 plus, but you think I would know everything. I did not. And I think about that conversation a lot more. I mean, I said this out right now because, and I said it very casually, but when we had that conversation, he said it in a very profound way. I'm not half as profound, so it came out very casually. But I think about that conversation many times when I'm stuck and I feel like such a ruined person. I've ruined my present and my future. And I think about this constantly, how we think the adults, I'm one of the adults, we think growing up, once you're grown up, you're 27, 28, 30, you'll have idea about life. You'll know what to do. There won't be any unknown. There won't be any, you will have it figured out. But that's not the truth. And I realize this now, and that conversation made me take a step back from everything and look at the people as well around me. How my parents are still figuring out a few things in their own way. My grandparents are still figuring out a few things. So many people around me are figuring out things, and it all comes to everybody in some time. And that is something I really like about this article, how it forces you to stop analyzing, stop doing everything, and just float. Just float. And that is something that's the reason why I wanted to share it with you. So before I get to the end, to everybody watching, do like the stream. And the more you like the stream, the more it gets recommended to people. And while I read the last part, let me know how often would you like me to stream. Right now, I'm just aiming for once a month, one Sunday. And when I am done setting up my kitchen, maybe we can get back into the kitchen streams in the morning. I won't be going into details of making myself breakfast. I would just make myself coffee or tea or water, whatever I'm drinking. I hate how my disclaimers start out being I intend for them to be not more than 10 words, and eventually they just end up being paragraphs. But anyway, Pokhraj is here. Hi, Pokhraj. How are you? Long time no see. And please do a stream around my birthday. This is the stream around my birthday. Okay. But anyway, even if you can't lie on the floor because you are in an office or at school or on the subway or sitting at a cafe or doing whatever, you can still make some room for the core feelings that are fueling your jitteriness and anxiety in this moment. It is strange how relaxing it can be just to acknowledge your despair. And I think by this time, when I was reading this the first time, I had tears in my eyes because, not in this part, but you'll know. You'll know you've stumbled on what's acting on you when your body loosens up, settles, and folds, and your mind slows down, and your eyes travel to the nearest window, and you take a deep breath. In that moment when you have finally let go of control, I want you to understand one thing. I love this part. Everything you care about so badly that it hurts will be improved by admitting to yourself how much you care regularly, repeatedly, while also acknowledging that you can't control every outcome. Your ability to surrender to your love and passion and sadness and uncertainty is so much better than control. Because the more you feel and the less you tell rigid stories around that feeling, the more connected and grounded you will feel. Surrender intensifies love and passion and joy. Surrender builds self trust and patience. Simply surrendering to what is real in this moment is your smoothest path to flourishing. Simply acknowledging the fragile feelings that come with big unknowns is enough. This is where everything good begins. Stop fixing yourself and surrender to reality. It is springtime. It is actually springtime. Uh, the trees are budding everywhere. You are full of sweetness and brilliance and light. Do not roll your eyes, motherfucker. I did not say this. This was written here. I am not a woman of expletives, at least online. Dare to believe it. Do not be cynical about how awake and alive and fragile you are. Dare to feel it. This world is all yours, even here, even now. You're buoyant, you are bright. Give this world all your love. And by the end of it, I just had tiny tears rolling down my cheeks because I just felt so nice and loved in this moment where I thought, fine, I think when you grow older, the moment you get old, and I don't know if it's a problem with everybody. I think it's a problem that I personally have because I don't have a habit of sharing a lot with the people I love. I mean, I don't really I'm not a very open person when it comes to expressing stuff. So a lot of the times when I'm stuck in problem and I don't ask for help, I don't usually ask for help, which is wrong. I know. I'm really operating in the dark. And I don't know if whatever I'm doing is right or not. And when I was reading this article and said, okay, sometimes it's nice to let go. Okay, you just have to float. And I just felt really nice about this. Sometimes just admitting to yourself that you genuinely care, that this is how things are and this is how you feel. And living through those emotions, that's the way to go. And that's how you give the world, or you find the strength to give the world all that you have, all your love and kindness. So, this was my recommendation for the week. Before I go, I will address the comments, but I'll do that in a bit. Before that, in the beginning of the stream, I said I'll talk about ABM 3 times at least. This is the 3rd time. And this is a reminder, friendly reminder, pick up this book. It's called Department of Speculation. What a beautiful cover. Look at that. There's a woman looking at a man. I don't know what she's thinking. Maybe she wants to commit murder. But pick up this book. It's amazing. It's brilliant. And so far, I'm loving what is written here. And if you are someone like me who appreciates poetry, but really appreciates simple prose that feels like poetry, you would love this book. And now, before I go, did someone just call me a creep? She is a creep, IG. What? Oh, I don't get this lingo. But yes, I'll quickly go through the comments. Pokraj is here. Is our stationary queen being fabulous as ever? Nice when some of the people show up. It's just always thank you, Akash. I'm a nice dictator. I mean, you would not regret electing me because even if I'm a dictator, I still think about my praja. And I think I still think about the public. So I did not really, even though like I could have read the whole article, I took my time out and then eventually I picked up the important ones. But yes. Oh, okay. There's this comment, Srishti, a stream with you and Kritika. I would love that. Definitely next time I'll have a guest with me, and I will reach out to Kritika as well. In the future, we would definitely do a stream together. Okay, Didi X Pele Vapas. This I love it when such questions arise. It's the time is 9:48. I'll take 12 more minutes. Yeah, 12 more minutes because I love comments like this. Mr. Para, I'm really sorry. I did this on expense of your comment. दीदी एक्स पहले वापस आना चाह रही थी मैंने रिजेक्ट कर दिया अब मुझे वो चाहिए यस लग रहा है कैन यू हेल्प I'm the worst person to take relationship advice from. But this is what dream comments are made for of. But I don't know, dude. Do whatever your heart says. Float. Feel what you're feeling. I'm really sorry. This is. I don't know. The article is so good, and now I'll read it on my own. Yes, Kushi. It's by Ask Polly. It's called Tolerate Unknowns. I had another article that I wanted to read, Embracing Totality, but I think I'll do this next time. The time is short, and I really want to do the comments as well. Guys, before go back to the comments, I don't know. It's just irritating me now. Do like the stream. The more you like the stream, the more it gets recommended to like minded people, the larger the community grows, which is a great space for us because we're just building a safe space where you can talk about anything that you want to without feeling attacked. I love your recommendation. Okay, Harshal, that is Charu. That's not me. But Charu is beautiful. We should definitely do an all creators. Our birthday is overrated. I think there came a point where I just hated my birthday. But I've always loved my birthday. I was that kid who would wait for birthdays because of the gifts. And I think as I got older, because I stopped. This is a thing that happened to me recently. A friend of mine taught me this actually. I think when you're growing older, a lot of people trivialize your achievements or your small victories in life. And as we get older, we think, okay, it's a very tiny thing. It's just a birthday, whatever. And you stop cherishing these moments until one day you actually meet someone like me or someone like my friend, and you would realize how much these small victories mean, how important they are. So I think I've reached a stage where I celebrate everything. I got a driver's license. I did not. But when I do, celebrate it. Scored what? I was expecting a D in my test, but I scored a B plus. I've never done that, but if I were if I were to grade myself again, I mean, if I were to get some grades again, I would definitely celebrate the small things in life. And birthday is a nice thing. I take myself out on a date for my birthday. I gift myself stuff which I could have bought any which way, but it's just nice. It's just something that the future me will thank me for. That that's really really nice. Um, Solo dates are awesome. Yes, they are. And I don't know. I think last year and a couple of years ago, I started. I think no, it became a trend last year where I started going for the movies by myself, and I can't tell you how much I love this experience. I love going on solo dates now. It's nice. To quote Department of Speculation, Jenny Offel, and the quote that I said when I just started streaming this morning. My plan was to never get married. I was going to be an art monster instead. Women almost never become art monsters because art monsters only concern themselves with art, never mundane things. Nabokov didn't even fold his own umbrella. Vera licked his stamps for him. Doesn't mean I completely agree with it, but it's just, I think solo dates will help you discover a lot and small victories or celebrations too as well. I'm very excited about this birthday. I'm turning 47. But yeah. Mm. I love eating alone as well. The best. The best. Okay. Well, it's of course not as good as I haven't seen the movie Norwegian Wood. I've read the book though. Um Says I'm the stupid one here. No, I just think if it works for you, it works for you. I think I am somebody who needs constant reminders um of the value life brings. And I think small victories do that for me. I really like celebrating myself in small intervals. Otherwise, I forget how nice of a person I am. Wink, wink. Um, Share your mail so I could send you a birthday. Wow. It's Vaani at the rate chalchitratalks.com. And I'm very excited about. I hope it's going to be a really nice. I like it when there is this. I have a tag for a few. I receive a lot of emails on Vani at the but out of the blue, sometimes once in a blue moon, sometimes I receive these really nice emails, which is just people telling me how they feel, and I don't always reply because I am like that. I'm sorry. It's just, and then I'll reply to the emails months later, which is, of course, that's very irresponsible of me, and that's not really nice of me. But I have this tag called kind words, and sometimes when I'm feeling low and demotivated, I just go and read them. But yes, no blasphemy against Maggie. Pokrajwani is an art monster when it comes to the underliners. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Pokraj, for recognizing my contribution. I'd like to thank everybody who's been a part of my journey. Uh, okay. Okay. I just want to do 100 likes on the streams. Yay. Yes, guys. Very good. I'm so happy. And on this note, I am going to recommend one of the poems that I really, really like. Um, Before I go, I anyway had to do a piece of poetry. And I'm very glad we're doing this after hitting 100 likes. I'm quickly searching for it because I forgot to open that tag. And it's one of the best, it's one of the poems I keep on going back to. And I was actually going to read out some other poetry, but because we've hit the target, and I'm going to take this up. It's called "So What Do You Do for Work?" It's by Jess Chance, and we still have 5 minutes, so I'll take some time before I get into the poem. No, I like to kid about my age, because even when I turn 47, it won't be a joke because everybody would think I'm lying. And for I know Indian Railways is keeping a track of all the poems we've discussed or we were recommended in this stream today, and they'll be posting it in the comments. For everyone else, when do leave a comment after I'm done with the stream in the actual comment section, not this chat box, of the poems that you would like to recommend. With, I'm thinking of a hashtag now. Um, you don't look a day older than 19. Thank you. That's how I want to live life. But okay. So the name of the poem is So What Do You Do for Work? It's by Just Chance. And it goes like this: It is boring what you do for money. We all need to put food into our mouths. I could listen for hours about the moments you felt most alive and what burns a hole in your belly, the people your eyes turn gold for, all of the cliffs you've jumped from, and about your favorite dinners. Tell me another story about a time when to you it was confirmed that the world is magic. I'll say that again. Tell me another story about a time when to you it was confirmed that the world is made of magic. And I really, really like this poem because I think I reached a stage where I got tired of people just asking me and talking to me about career and books and whatnot and what. It's just, I knew what the next question was going to be. And I was tired of everybody just talking about their professions. And then to come across a poem which says, I mean, everybody has to put food on the table. It's okay. But tell me about a time where you realized or you discovered that the world is made of magic. And this is the poem that I want to leave you with. And if anybody wants to like write an anecdote in the comments about when they felt the world was full of magic, go ahead. It'll be the best thing, best birthday present actually. And I'll see you guys soon, hopefully next month. But before that, I'll also see you in the best of stream in the month of April, where I'll be talking about Poor Things and The Reader because I watched these movies this month itself, and a lot more movies that I've been watching. I've been putting in a lot of efforts, guys. But I'll see you guys in the best of stream, which will happen towards the end of this month or early on next month. And let me know how often you'd like me to stream. Ideally, I'm targeting once every month. And I'm working on a lot of videos and the voiceovers that one of our dear friends had recommended. So I'm excited about this. Have a great Sunday. The weather is amazing. Go out for walk and click photos and tag me, maybe. But it was really, really nice seeing you, all of you. And I'll see you guys. Have a great, great Sunday. Bye.